Min opened his eyes slowly. His head hurt badly. The room around him was dark and cold. Metal walls surrounded him on all sides. He tried to move, but his hands were locked in chains above his head. His feet barely touched the floor. He remembered what happened 3 days ago. He was checking an old space station near the outer rim. It was his job. He looked for broken ships and old equipment that he could fix and sell. The station seemed empty and quiet. That was his mistake. They were waiting for him inside. They caught him before he could run back to his ship. They were big creatures, almost 8 feet tall. Their bodies were covered in thick scales like a lizard. They had long claws and sharp teeth. Their eyes glowed yellow in the dark. Min fought hard, but there were too many of them. They hit him on the head and everything went black. Now he was here, wherever here was. The door opened with a loud hiss. Bright light filled the room. Min closed his eyes against the sudden brightness. Heavy footsteps came closer. When he opened his eyes again, 3 stood in front of him. They were laughing. It sounded like rocks grinding together. "Look at this weak thing," one of them said. His voice was deep and rough. "Humans are so soft, no scales, no claws, no armor. How did these creatures even survive on their planet?" Another poked Min in the chest with one sharp claw. It hurt. A small cut appeared and blood ran down his shirt. "See, their skin breaks so easily. They are made of paper." The third one walked around Min slowly. "I heard humans need to drink water many times every day, and they must sleep for many hours. What kind of weak species is this? Even their planet has weak gravity. They are like bobbies." Min said nothing. He just watched them. He noticed everything. The first had a weapon on his right hip. The second one had old scars across his face. The third one walked with a small limp on his left leg. Min stored this information in his mind. The door opened again. This time a bigger entered. He wore dark armor with red markings. The other 3 stepped back quickly and lowered their heads. This one was important. "Leave us," the big one said. The 3 left immediately. The door closed behind them. The big moved closer to Min. "I am commander. I am the hunt master of this ship. Do you know what that means, human?" Min looked at him but stayed quiet. "It means I organize the greatest hunts in the galaxy," continued. "For 3,000 years, my people have been the best hunters. We travel to different worlds and collect the most interesting prey. Then we release them on our private hunting moon and we hunt them. It is our tradition. It is our sport." Smiled, his teeth were long and sharp. "You should feel honored, human. Most species are too common, too boring, but humans are rare out here in deep space. I have never hunted a human before. This will be interesting." "You will be released on 9, the commander said. "It is a moon with thick jungle, very dangerous. Many deadly animals live there. The air is hot and wet. The rain is acidic, perfect for hunting." He walked around Min slowly. "You will have other prey with you. We collected them from different planets. Scientists, traders, travelers, all weak species. We will give you 6 hours to run and hide. Then we will hunt you. If you survive for 7 days, you win your freedom." Laughed. It was a cold sound. But no one has ever survived 7 days. Most die in the first 2 days. Some last 3 or 4 days if they are clever, but they all die in the end. We always win. Min finally spoke. His voice was calm and quiet. "And if we fight back?" The commander laughed harder. "Fight back? With what? You have no weapons, no armor, no claws or teeth. You are prey, human, just prey, accept it." Turned and walked to the door. Before leaving, he looked back at Min. "We arrive at 9 in 2 days. Rest well, human. Enjoy your last hours of safety. Soon you will know what it means to be hunted by the—" The door closed. Min was alone again in the dark. Hours passed, maybe days. It was hard to tell in the dark cell. Sometimes the lights came on and it would throw food on the floor. The food was terrible, but Min ate it all. He needed energy. He needed strength. On the second day, something changed. The chains were removed from his hands. Guards came and took him down a long hallway. They put him in a bigger room with other prisoners. There were 12 of them, different species from different worlds. Most looked scared. Some were crying. One was a human woman. She sat in the corner with her knees pulled up to her chest. Min walked over to her. "Are you okay?" She looked up at him. Her eyes were red from crying, but she was not crying now. "I am HFY. I studied plants and fungi on research stations. They took me 2 weeks ago." "I am Min," he said, sitting down next to her. "How much do you know about this place?" HFY took a deep breath. "They told me everything. We are going to 9. It is their hunting moon. The jungle there is very dangerous. The temperature is high. There is acid rain, many poisonous plants and deadly animals. The hunt prey there for sport. They have done this for thousands of years." "Has anyone ever escaped?" Min asked. "No one," HFY said quietly. "They always win. They are too strong, too fast. They have advanced weapons and armor. They can see heat from our bodies. They can track us easily. We are just weak prey to them." Min was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "They think we are weak because we have no claws or scales. They think we will run and hide like scared animals." "What else can we do?" HFY asked. Min looked at her. His eyes were calm, but there was something hard in them, something determined. "We can do what humans have always done. We adapt, we learn, we survive, and then we hunt them back." HFY stared at him like he was crazy. "That is impossible." "Maybe," Min said, "but I would rather die fighting than die running. And if we are going to die anyway, let's make sure they remember us. Let's show them that humans are not prey." The ship shook slightly. They were landing. 9 was waiting for them below. The hunt would begin soon. The landing ramp opened. Hot, wet air rushed into the ship. It was hard to breathe. The air was thick like soup. Min felt sweat forming on his skin immediately. Outside was a jungle. Trees grew everywhere, tall and twisted. Their leaves were dark green and purple. Vines hung down from branches like ropes. Strange sounds came from deep in the forest. Animal calls, things moving in the bushes. The sky above was orange and heavy with clouds. The guards pushed all the prisoners down the ramp. Min counted them. 14 total, including him and HFY. Most were small creatures, herbivores, species that ate plants and lived peaceful lives on their home worlds. They were not fighters. They were definitely not hunters. Commander stood at the bottom of the ramp. He held a large plasma rifle. Other hunters stood behind him. They were checking their weapons and laughing with each other. "Welcome to 9, announced. "This will be your home for the next 7 days, or until you die, whichever comes first." He threw a bag at each prisoner's feet. "Inside you will find a knife, some food, and water for 2 days. Use them wisely. The jungle has water if you know where to look. It also has food if you are brave enough to eat it. But be careful. Many things here are poisonous." One of the small aliens started crying loudly. Ignored it. "You have 6 hours, the commander continued. "Run, hide, do whatever you want. After 6 hours, we will start hunting. We will track you, we will find you, and we will kill you. This is the way of the hunt." Another stepped forward. "Oh, and one more thing. Each of you has a small tracking device in your bag. We will know where you go. We will follow you when we are ready. There is nowhere to hide." They laughed together. It sounded like thunder. "Your 6 hours start now," said. "Run." The prisoners grabbed their bags and scattered into the jungle. Most ran in different directions, panicked and scared. Min watched which way they went. Then he looked at HFY. "Follow me," he said. "Stay close." They walked into the jungle together, not running, walking. Min looked at everything carefully. He noticed the plants, the ground, the trees. He listened to every sound. "Shouldn't we run?" HFY asked. She was breathing hard from the heat. "No," Min said. "Running wastes energy. We need to think, not panic." After 20 minutes, they found a stream. The water was clear and cold. Min opened his bag and found the tracking device. It was a small metal disc. He put it in the stream and watched it float away with the current. "Won't they know we removed it?" Haywan asked. "Yes," Min said, "but it will buy us time. They will follow the stream first. By the time they realize the device moved without us, we will be somewhere else." They walked for 2 more hours. The jungle was thick and hard to move through. Vines grabbed at their clothes. Insects buzzed around their heads. The heat was terrible, but Min kept moving. He found a cave hidden behind a waterfall. The entrance was small, easy to miss. Inside, the cave was cool and dark. Water dripped from the ceiling. "We stay here," Min said. "Rest, drink water, eat some food, then we plan." Haywan sat down on the cave floor. She was exhausted. "Plan what? How can we fight them? They are bigger, stronger, and they have weapons." Min sat down next to her. "Tell me about this jungle. You are what lives here?" Haywan thought for a moment. "The plants here are different from Earth plants. Many are poisonous to touch. Some release spores that make you dizzy or paralyzed. The trees are very hard, almost like metal. And there are animals. I saw tracks outside, big ones." "What kind of animals?" Min asked. "Predators mostly," Haywan said. "This moon has a harsh ecosystem. Everything here either hunts or gets hunted. I saw something in my research before they captured me. There is a species called spine stalkers. They are ambush hunters. They hide in trees and drop down on prey. Very dangerous." Min smiled a little. "Good, we can use that." "Use it how?" Haywan asked. "They think they are the only hunters here," Min explained. "They are arrogant. They believe their technology and strength make them superior. But this jungle has its own rules, its own hunters. We just need to make them meet them." Over the next few hours, they explored the area around the cave carefully. Min found several interesting things. There were plants with large seed pods that exploded when touched, sending sharp thorns everywhere. There were vines that were incredibly strong, good for making ropes or traps, and he found the spine stalker nests high in the trees. Haywan studied the plants. She found ones that released paralyzing spores when crushed. Others had sap that burned skin like acid. She collected samples in containers from her research bag. Night fell on the jungle. The sounds changed. New animals came out, things that hunted in darkness. Min and Haywan stayed in their cave and watched the jungle. Far away, they heard the first scream, then another. The other prisoners were dying. They had started hunting. Haywan covered her ears. "Those poor people." Min looked grim. "We cannot save them. We can only save ourselves. And maybe, if we are smart and lucky, we can make the pay for what they have done." The next morning, Min started building. He used the strong vines to create tripwires across paths. He dug small holes and filled them with sharp sticks. He crushed the paralyzing spore plants and spread them in certain areas. He created a kill zone around their cave. Haywan helped. She showed him which plants were safe to touch and which were deadly. She mixed different plant saps together to create stronger poisons. On the second day, they heard more screams. They were getting closer. They were hunting in a pattern, moving through the jungle section by section. "They will find us soon," Haywan said nervously. "I know," Min replied. "That is what I am counting on." He climbed a tree near the cave entrance. The tree was tall and had thick branches. From the top, he could see far across the jungle. He saw smoke rising in the distance. That was probably the camp. He also saw something moving through the trees below. A hunter. He was alone, tracking through the jungle with his weapon ready. The hunter was big and moved confidently. He did not look worried at all. Min climbed down quietly. "One is coming," he whispered to Haywan. "Get ready. This is where we find out if humans can fight back." They hid in the cave behind the waterfall. Min held his small knife. It was nothing compared to weapons, but it was sharp, and Min knew exactly where to use it. The hunter came closer. He was following tracks. Min had left them deliberately. The hunter smiled, showing his sharp teeth. Easy prey, he probably thought. He stepped into the kill zone, and the hunt changed forever. The hunter's name he was a veteran of many hunts. He had killed prey on 17 different worlds. He was confident and proud, too confident. He stepped on the first tripwire. The vine was hidden under leaves and mud, barely noticed it snap, but Min noticed. Everything happened exactly as planned. A branch swung down from the side. It hit in the chest, not hard enough to hurt him, but hard enough to make him step backward. His foot landed on a cluster of crushed spore plants. Purple dust exploded into the air, breathed it in before he could stop himself. The paralyzing spores worked immediately. His movements became slow. His muscles did not respond correctly. He tried to raise his weapon, but his arms felt heavy like stone. "What is this?" growled. He looked around, confused. His yellow eyes searched for the prey. Min dropped from the tree above. He had been waiting there completely still for almost an hour. They never looked up. They were ground hunters. They did not expect attack from above. Min landed on his back. They tried to throw him off, but the spores made him too slow. Min already knew where to strike. He had watched on the ship carefully. He knew their armor had weak points at the neck, under the arms, and behind the knees. His knife went into the gap between his helmet and chest armor. It was a perfect strike, made a choking sound and fell to his knees. Then he fell forward and did not move again. Min stood over the body, breathing hard. His hands were shaking. He had just killed a hunter, something that was supposed to be impossible. HFY came out from the cave. She looked at its body with wide eyes. "You actually did it." "Help me," Min said. "We need to take his equipment before others come looking for him." They worked quickly. Min took his plasma rifle. It was heavy but powerful. He also took the combat knife, much better than the small blade they were given. The armor was too big for Min to wear, but he removed the arm and leg pieces. They might be useful later. Most importantly, he took his communication device. It was attached to this helmet. HFY examined it carefully. "I think I can make this work," she said. "I studied alien technology in my research. This is old military equipment, not too complicated." They dragged his body deeper into the jungle and covered it with leaves and vines. Then they moved their camp to a new location, farther from the cave. They could not stay in one place too long. That night, HFY got the communication device working. They could hear the talking to each other. "Has not reported in," one voice said. "His tracking signal stopped moving 4 hours ago." "He probably cornered some prey and is playing with it," another voice replied. "You know how likes to make them suffer before the kill." "Maybe," the first voice said, "but send someone to check on him anyway. Wants regular reports." Min and HFY looked at each other. More were coming. "We cannot fight them all," HFY said. "We do not need to fight them all at once," Min replied. "We pick them off one by one, make them scared, make them doubt." Over the next 2 days, Min became a ghost in the jungle. He learned to move silently through the thick vegetation. He learned which plants to avoid and which ones to use. He learned the sounds of the jungle and how to hide within them. He set up more traps in different locations. Some were simple pitfalls covered with branches and leaves. Others were more complex. He used the acid rain that fell every evening, collecting it in containers. He poured it on metal equipment, making it corrode and fail. He found the spine stalker nests and learned their patterns. When it came too close, Min would make noise near the nest. The spine stalkers would attack anything that disturbed them. 2 more hunters died. One fell into a pit filled with poisonous thorns. Another was attacked by 3 spine stalkers when Min led him into their territory. Each time, Min took their weapons and equipment. He was building an arsenal. The communication channel became worried. 3 hunters dead," Commander's voice came through. He sounded angry. "What is happening out there?" "The jungle is more dangerous than we thought," one hunter replied. "The local predators are aggressive, and the human is not running, he is fighting back." "He is prey," said. "Just prey, find him and kill him. Use your thermal vision, use your tracking skills, end this now." But Min had learned how to beat their thermal vision. HFY discovered that certain jungle mud, when mixed with the cold water from underground streams, could mask body heat. They covered themselves in this mud every few hours. To this thermal sensors, they looked like part of the jungle. On the 5th day, Min made a bold move. He tracked a hunter instead of waiting to be hunted. The hunter's name he was younger than but just as arrogant. Was checking one of his last known locations when Min found him. There was alone, searching through bushes with his weapon ready. Min did not use traps this time. He had his plasma rifle now. He knew how to use it. He had practiced for 2 days, learning its weight and aim. He shot from 50 meters away, 3 quick shots. The first 2 hit this armor. The third one found the weak point at the neck, went down hard. Min approached carefully. He made sure it was dead before taking his equipment. Another weapon, more ammunition, better armor pieces that he could actually use. But this time he did something different. He left his body where it fell. He wanted the other to find it. He wanted them to see what happened. He wanted them to be afraid. That evening, the communication channel exploded with angry voices. "Is dead, shot with our own weapons. How is this possible? He is just a human. Where did he get a plasma rifle? He must have killed and taken his weapon. 4 hunters dead, 4 in 5 days. Commander's voice cut through the chaos. "Enough! Everyone return to base camp. Now, we regroup and make a new plan. This human is more dangerous than we thought." Min listened to this with HFY beside him. She looked at him with a mixture of fear and admiration. "They are retreating," she said quietly. "You made them retreat." "For now," Min said. "But we'll come back, he will bring everyone. This was just the beginning." He looked at his collection of weapons and equipment. He had plasma rifles, combat knives, armor pieces, grenades, and communication devices. He had gone from a helpless prisoner to a serious threat in just 5 days. "We have 2 more days until the hunt officially ends," Min said. "Will not let us survive that long. He will come with everything he has." "What do we do?" HFY asked. Min checked his weapons carefully. "We do not wait for them to come to us. We take the fight to them. We hit their base camp. We make them understand that hunting humans was the biggest mistake they ever made." In the distance, thunder rolled across the jungle. Or maybe it was the sound of preparing for war. Either way, the real battle was about to begin. Commander stood in the base camp and looked at his remaining hunters. 12 warriors stared back at him. 4 were dead because of 1 human. 4 of his best hunters. It was impossible. It was shameful. It was unacceptable. "This ends today," announced. His voice was hard and cold. "We will hunt together. No more single hunters. No more games. We find this human and we kill him quickly." The hunters checked their weapons. They looked nervous. Could see it in their eyes. Fear. They were afraid of prey. This had never happened before in 3,000 years of hunting tradition. "He is just one small human," continued. "Weak, soft, lucky. He used our arrogance against us, but now we are ready. Now we know he is dangerous. That makes him easier to kill." But deep inside was not so sure. He had reviewed the reports. The human was smart. He learned quickly. He adapted to the jungle in days. He turned the environment into a weapon. He killed trained warriors with primitive tactics and stolen equipment. This was not normal prey behavior. The hunters left the base camp in 3 groups of 4, led 1 group personally. They moved through the jungle carefully, weapons ready, eyes scanning everywhere. Min watched them from a tree 200 meters away. He had a scope from one of the rifles. He could see everything. He counted the groups, 12 hunters total, all armed, all alert. "They are coming in force," he whispered to HFY. She was hidden in the bushes below. "We cannot fight 12, she said. "We need to run." "No," Min replied. Running is what they expect. We attack. He had spent all of last night preparing. He found an ancient ruin deep in the jungle. Old stone walls covered with vines. Broken pillars lying on the ground. It was perfect for an ambush. Men had placed explosives throughout the ruin. He took them from the dead hunters, small grenades and larger charges. He also set up his traps, tripwires, false floors, poisoned spikes. The ruin was now a death trap waiting to be sprung. Now he just needed to get them to come to him. Min fired one shot from his plasma rifle. It hit a tree next to his group. The scattered immediately taking cover. They scanned for the shooter. Min fired again from a different position. Then he ran. He moved through the jungle quickly, making noise deliberately, leaving tracks. He wanted them to follow. There, one shouted, "The human, he is running." Smiled, "Chase him. Do not let him escape." The three groups converged. All 12 hunters pursued Min through the jungle. They were faster than him, stronger, but Min knew where he was going. He led them exactly where he wanted them. He burst into the clearing where the ancient ruin stood. He ran across the broken stones toward the far side. They came right behind him, weapons firing. Plasma bolts hit the ruins around him, but Min kept moving. He dove behind a thick stone wall, that spread out across the ruin surrounding his position. They thought they had him trapped. Walked forward slowly. "It is over, human. You fought well, better than I expected, but you cannot win. Come out and I will make your death quick." Min did not answer. He pressed the detonator in his hand. The explosions ripped through the ruin. The charges were placed at the base of old pillars and weak walls. Stone and dust exploded into the air. Half of his group disappeared in the blast. The others were thrown to the ground by the shockwave. Before they could recover, Min was moving. He came from the side, not from where they expected. His plasma rifle fired in quick bursts. 2 more went down. The remaining hunters tried to return fire, but the dust and smoke made it hard to see. Min used this. He moved like a ghost through the ruins, firing from different positions. The shot at shadows and hit nothing. 3 more fell to Min's careful aim. The others retreated, scared and confused. They had never been hunted like this before. Pulled himself from the rubble. His armor was cracked. His weapon was lost in the explosion. He had a deep cut across his face. Blood ran down his scales. He saw Min across the clearing. The human stood on top of a broken pillar, plasma rifle in hand. He looked tired but determined, and for the first time felt something he never felt before on a hunt. Fear. "Fall back," shouted to his remaining hunters. "Return to base now." They retreated through the jungle. Only 6 of them were left from 12. Could not believe it. They were running from prey. Min did not chase them. He knew that would be foolish. Instead, he and Haywan moved to a new position. They gathered their weapons and supplies. The real fight was coming. That night sat in the base camp with his remaining 5 hunters. They were defeated, broken. Their confidence was gone. "We must call for backup," one hunter said. "Bring more warriors from the ship." "No," said firmly. "Word of this cannot spread. If other species learn that one human defeated a hunting party, our reputation is destroyed. We finish this ourselves." "How?" another hunter asked. "He knows this jungle better than us now. He has our weapons, our tactics. He is hunting us." Stood up. "Then we leave the jungle. We return to the ship and prepare for evacuation. The hunt is over. We will report equipment failures, dangerous local wildlife. We will never speak of this human again." But Min had other plans. While they talked in their camp, he was moving through the jungle toward them. Haywan followed close behind. "This is crazy," she whispered. 6 in one place, all armed. We cannot attack them." "I do not plan to attack them directly," Min replied. "I plan to make sure they cannot leave." They reached the edge of the base camp just before midnight. The camp was lit by bright lights. Guards walked the perimeter. In the center sat a large shuttle. It would carry them back to the main ship in orbit. Min studied the shuttle carefully. Then he smiled. "Wait here," he told HFY. "If I do not come back in 1 hour, run, hide, survive." "What are you going to do?" she asked. "What humans do best," Min said, "improvise." He moved into the camp like a shadow. The guards were watching the jungle. They expected attack from outside. They did not expect someone to infiltrate the camp itself. Min reached the shuttle. He opened an access panel on the side. Inside were the engine controls and the communication array. He planted explosives on both, small charges that would not explode. Not yet, but they would fail when the shuttle tried to take off. Then he sabotaged the communication tower. He cut specific wires and damaged key components. They would not be able to call for help. Finally, he did something that HFY helped him prepare. He released a thick smoke into the camp. But this was not normal smoke. It was filled with spores from the jungle, the same spores that paralyzed. HFY had cultivated them carefully and created a concentrated version. The smoke spread through the camp quickly. The guards breathed it in. Within minutes they were moving slower, their vision blurred, their muscles weakened. Min moved through the chaos. He took down guards one by one, silent, efficient, deadly. By the time the camp realized what was happening, 3 more were dead. Only 3 remained, and one of them was. The commander stumbled out of his command tent. He could barely stand. The spores affected him too. He saw Min standing in the center of the camp, surrounded by the bodies of hunters. "How?" asked. His voice was weak. "How is this possible?" Min looked at him. The human was covered in mud and blood. His face was hard. "You asked the wrong question," he said. "You should have asked why humans survive, why we are dangerous." Fell to his knees. The paralysis was spreading. "Because we adapt," Min continued. "We learn. We turn weakness into strength. We never give up. And when you hunt us, when you threaten us, we become the most dangerous species in the galaxy." The last 2 tried to run, but the spores had them too. They fell before reaching the jungle. Looked up at Min. "Kill me then, end it." But Min shook his head. "No, you are going to deliver a message." Commander sat on the ground. His hands were tied behind his back with the same chains they used on prisoners. The paralysis spores were wearing off, but he was still weak. Around him lay the bodies of his hunting party, all dead except him. Min stood in front of him. HFY was there too, working on the communication equipment. She had spent the last hour fixing what Min had damaged, but she made some changes, important changes. "What message?" asked. His voice was bitter, defeated. "You are going to tell your people what happened here," Min said. "All of it, the truth." Laughed, but there was no humor in it. "They will never believe that one human defeated an entire hunting party. It is impossible." "That is why we have proof," Min replied. HFY had found recording devices in the equipment. They recorded everything during the hunt, every kill, every trap, every moment. She compiled it all into one long video file. "I have it ready," HFY said. "The footage shows everything, from when we landed to right now." Min looked at. "You will send this recording to your leaders. You will tell them that humans are not prey. You will tell them that if they hunt us again, we will do more than fight back. We will hunt them." "And if I refuse?" asked. Min showed him the detonator for the explosive still planted around the camp. "Then you die here with everyone else, and we send the message anyway using your communication codes. Your choice." Looked at the human for a long moment. He saw something in Min's eyes, not cruelty, not hatred, just cold determination. This human meant every word. "I will do it," said finally. "But you should know something. This will change everything. The galaxy will learn about humans. Some will fear you, some will respect you, but others will see you as a threat, a dangerous new species. Are you ready for that?" Min thought about this. Then he nodded. "Better they know the truth now. Better they understand what happens when they underestimate us. HFY set up the communication system. She pointed a camera at. The commander looked into it and began to speak. I am commander of the hunting frigate Crimson Talon. I am sending this message to the High Council and to all species of the galactic community. What I am about to show you is the complete record of hunt number 47,293 on our Moon 9. He paused. This was hard for him to say. We captured 14 prey from different species. One of them was a human named Min from the planet Earth. We believed humans were weak, soft, easy prey. We were wrong. The recording played. It showed everything. The landing, the hunt beginning. Then it showed the first death. Then the second, the third, the fourth, the ambush at the ruins, the infiltration of the base camp. All of it. Continued speaking. In 7 days, one human killed 13 hunters. He used our arrogance against us. He adapted to a hostile environment in hours. He learned our tactics and used them better than we did. He turned the jungle itself into a weapon. He defeated us completely. The recording showed the final scene. Min standing in the destroyed base camp, surrounded by dead, victorious. This is a warning to all species, said. His voice was heavy. Humans are not weak prey. They are survivors. They are innovators. They are persistent. When threatened, they become apex predators. They made a grave mistake hunting them. Do not make the same mistake. The transmission ended. HFY sent it out on all frequencies. It would reach there in 3 days. From there, it would spread across the galaxy. Min looked at. Now we fix your shuttle just enough to fly. You are going to leave this moon and never come back. Over the next 6 hours, they repaired the shuttle's damaged systems. Min made sure it could reach orbit but nothing more. Enough to return to the main ship but not enough to hunt again. Stood at the shuttle entrance. He looked at Min one last time. I have hunted for 40 years. I killed prey on dozens of worlds. I thought I understood predators, but you taught me something. The most dangerous predator is not the one with the biggest teeth or claws. It is the one who refuses to give up. Min said nothing. He just watched as entered the shuttle and closed the door. The engine started. The shuttle lifted off slowly and climbed into the orange sky. Soon it was just a small dot disappearing into space. HFY stood next to Min. They watched the shuttle vanish together. What now? She asked. Now we fix a communication beacon and call for help, Min said. And we report the location of this hunting moon to the Galactic Council. They have been doing illegal hunts here for thousands of years. Time for that to end. They worked on the beacon for 2 days. Finally, they got a response. A trade ship passing through the system picked up their signal. The captain was a friendly alien who promised to report the hunting moon to the authorities. 3 weeks later, Min and HFY were back in civilized space. They gave their testimonies to the Galactic Council. The hunting tradition was officially banned. 9 was declared a protected zone. No more hunts would happen there. But the bigger impact was the recording. It spread across the galaxy like fire. Every species saw it. Every government studied it. The weak humans from Earth had defeated the mighty hunters. The implications were enormous. Some species became interested in humans. They wanted to trade with Earth, form alliances, learn from them. Other species became wary. If humans could do this, what else were they capable of? Should they be monitored, controlled, kept at arm's length? And a few species became hostile. They saw humans as a future threat, a competitor, something that needed to be eliminated before it became too strong. But all of them learned one important lesson: never underestimate humans. Min returned to his salvage work, but now he had a reputation, the human who survived the hunt, the man who turned the tables on apex predators. People wanted to hire him, meet him, learn from him. HFY published her research on 9's ecosystem. Her paper became famous in scientific circles. She became a leading expert on xenobiology and alien environments. They stayed in touch. Sometimes they met for drinks and talked about their time on the jungle moon. It felt like a lifetime ago now, but it changed both of them forever. 1 year after the hunt, Min received a message. It was from an unknown source. When he opened it, he saw a symbol. The message was simple. The council has disbanded our hunting traditions. Many are angry. They blame you. Some want revenge, but I am not one of them. You taught me a valuable lesson about humility and respect. I have returned to to teach others this lesson. Thank you, human, for showing us that honor is not found in easy victories but in recognizing worthy opponents. Min deleted the message, but he smiled a little. Maybe something good came from all of this. Maybe the galaxy was learning. Earth itself changed too. When the recording reached Earth, humanity realized they were no longer alone in the galaxy. More importantly, they realized they were capable of holding their own among the stars. Earth's government increased funding for space exploration. They built better ships, trained better crews, prepared for whatever the galaxy had waiting for them. Because now everyone knew the truth. Humans were not the strongest species. They were not the fastest they did not have natural weapons or armor. But they had something more important. They had the ability to adapt, to learn, to survive against impossible odds, and when pushed, when threatened, when hunted, they became the hunters. Across the galaxy, a new saying became popular among spacers and traders. When warning others about dangerous situations or underestimated threats, they would say, "Be careful, do not make them go human on you." It meant do not corner them, do not underestimate them, do not make them desperate, because desperate humans were the most dangerous thing in the galaxy. Min heard this phrase during his travels. Sometimes people did not know they were saying it in front of the actual human from the famous hunt. He never corrected them. He just smiled and continued with his work. Because that was another human trait. They did not need recognition or glory. They just needed to survive, to protect their own, to make sure that when someone threatened them, that someone learned a very important lesson. Never hunt a human, because humans do not run forever. Eventually, they turn around. And when they do, they show the galaxy what true predators look like. The lone human on 9 proved that. One man against 13 trained alien hunters. One man who refused to be prey. One man who flipped the tables and became the hunter instead. And the galaxy would never forget it.